Hello. I'm upset because I already filmed this once, but it was in slow-mo and I didn't notice. Alright, take two. Hello, my name is Christina. I make art-related content on my channel here, and I would consider myself to be an artist. But I don't love art. Let me explain. I know I don't love art because if I compare it to other things that I've loved in my life that are art related, it really doesn't compare. When I was little, I loved performing. My mom loves to tell the story of how I would memorize these like 10 to 20 minute long Russian poems, and then whenever we'd have a family gathering, I would like get up on a stool and force everyone to listen to these poems for like 10 minutes straight. And then I also loved dance when I was little. Back in Moldova, I was like in this dance team, and we would have competitions that were like super serious and outfits, and I loved it. I can't even describe the feeling of how much I was into it, and just the music and the movement, and it was magical. And then we moved to Canada, and that kind of fizzled out. But then I fell in love with books here, and that's basically how I learned English. Is I just read so much. I remember reading like every book in the Magic Treehouse series. I could barely understand. Like I was 50% was no idea what they were saying, but I just like went crazy for it anyways. And I would take out like 20 books from the library at a time, and I was just going through as many as I could. And then I went off to high school and uni, and higher education has this way of beating out all the joy of reading right out of you. So, but I still love books, and art was always just kind of not really there. Like I'm talking about the drawing kind of art. I would like draw here and there. I had like a little bit of a natural inclination towards it. It wasn't terrible. I remember in middle school art class, this one guy paid me $5 to draw his sphere, because we had that like assignment to draw a ball with the proper shadows and everything. I guess that was like my first art commission. Now that I think about it. But yeah, I was pretty good at it, so in theory I should have like wanted to do it more, but I didn't. It was slow, and I would always be so disappointed in what I was able to create because I wanted more out of like the thing that I just sat on and paid attention to for 2 hours or whatever. And so yeah, I just wasn't super inclined for it. And it wasn't until 5 years ago, let's say, I was in uni, I was broke, and I saw online that someone was using watercolors, and it was like in this really free form way, and the watercolors would like flow on the page, and it was beautiful. And I fell in love, and so I just watched like all of the watercolor content, and I saved up and I bought my first like watercolor paints. It was the Winsor & Newton Cotman pocket sized one, and I used it for the first time, and I just remember being excited but also really disappointed because they were not doing what the watercolors that I saw online were doing. And of course back then I didn't realize that like quality of paper matters, quality of watercolors matter. Some of them flow more than others, technique matters a lot. So I just kind of got disappointed by that, and I barely used them at all. And like years passed by, and then I kind of decided in like 2019 that I wanted to do art YouTube, because I've always really been interested in like making videos as well. So I made like a couple you can go back and see, and they were pretty bad, and it was too much effort, and once again I just kind of like was like whatever. But after I finished university, I was kind of like a shell of a person. I just like didn't have any hobbies or interests. My mental health was awful. There was nothing that I would do in my spare time except for just like watch TV, and I just had this overwhelming feeling of like there's nothing that I'm good at, there's nothing that I love, and I was tired of feeling like that. So I decided that art was gonna be my thing, and here we are. And I guess the point that I'm trying to get at is that I picked art, you know what I mean? I didn't fall in love with it. I'm still in the process of falling in love with it, but I just decided one day that art was going to be my thing. And I think most people don't really talk about this, but when you do that, it's not the same as everyone else's journey, you know, because if you go on Instagram or you go online, and I was lucky that like I made an Instagram, and so I have like a little art community and I can see other people doing their stuff. Everyone seems to be so in love with art, you know, like they can't wait to paint, they can't wait to draw, they're super relaxed by it, they're staying up till 3 a.m. drawing, you know, and that is just not my experience at all. I have to force myself to draw, like exercise, literally, you know, you don't want to go and run, or you don't want to go on a hike, but then you do, and then you feel better, and like if you do it often enough, it slowly just kind of becomes something that your body craves and it feels good. But it's really hard to like make yourself sit down and draw, make yourself deal with the constant negativity in your head telling you that what you're doing isn't good, or that you're never going to get to a certain skill level, or that you're never gonna have the discipline to sit down and hone like a specific thing, like, you know, portraits or illustration or whatever. It really gets to you, and it's really a battle, and it's really slow. It's been about a year since I've consistently posted on YouTube and consistently like made myself draw and paint. And by consistently I mean like it's still very up and down. Like I'll have weeks, sometimes months, where I just cannot really draw often. But if you just keep going, you end up slowly needing it. So I'm at the point right now where I've done it often enough that now I kind of crave it. If I go a week without drawing anything, I feel it like in my hands almost. And I really feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna be in love with art, or gonna love art, because I am slowly starting to be relaxed by what I make, and I'm slowly starting to not really care that much about if it looks too good or not. But I'm also seeing an improvement in my skill a bit, which is also fun, right? I can see that it's better than where I was a year ago. So I just want to tell you, whoever's watching this, if you feel like you're talentless, or that you don't have a thing, or that you're average at something, or that you wish that you had a hobby, or you wish that you had your thing, you know, you can just pick it. Just pick it. It won't be easy. All you need is just like an inkling of something. For me, it was that I wanted to have an interest. I wanted to have a thing that I did in my spare time that brought me joy, even if it was really hard to make myself do it. I wanted to have some sort of like finished product. Like I wanted to be able to come back to it in a year from now and be able to see what I made and have it be kind of like a moment in my life. And so you can do that. You can do that. You don't have to have any sort of prior experience. You don't even have to be super interested in something. You can just do it, and yeah, you can do whatever you want. If you're also someone like me that tends to get very like obsessive, so I'll just kind of ping pong in and out of new skills or new interests often, and then once the obsession kind of weans away after like a week or 2 or 3, I just kind of never touch it again, because I literally cannot make myself touch it again. Like I cannot make myself be interested again. Just kind of picking something at random might even be better for you, like it is for me, because I didn't have that sort of like initial obsession phase, and then kind of the die down. So instead, I started low, and I'm slowly building to the point where it's just constant and ever present in my life, and I don't have to worry about me just kind of like, you know, oh my god, Russian word came to mind for no reason. You know, I don't have to worry about me abandoning this thing that I've been building on for so long. I hope this was relatable to someone. I guess that's just all that I want to talk about, is the fact that sometimes having a hobby isn't always beautiful, right? Especially if you don't feel like a natural pull to it. So I'll stop talking now. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. I'm really tired, but I'm still trying to post every day because I said I would. Okay. Bye. Did my story have a point? I think so.